Jam on toast!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is to Once We're Warriors. This is week 11 of We Are Movie Club, Kiwi's pick. The short sale on it, as far as I got out of it anyways, is that this is basically a documentary on how horrible cesspool of people we are, even in New Zealand. Kind of like a New Zealand Blue Valentine. And after watching Eagle and Shark, yeah, I've got to admit that's kind of what this is, because Eagle and Shark was kind of a New Zealand Napoleon Dynamite. But I love it for this. Out of all the weird things for me to pick out, I can't get over it because I think it's just a great idea, and it's not something you would typically see here, though you probably see a rifle. By the back door, they had a machete set and ready to go to chop down that rope. So my love for this one is backdoor machete. My hate it was friggin' depressing. Any of the uplifting things were kind of shot out by the rest of the movie. So the MVP for this one was the girl who played Grace, Maya Cabell. She did such a great job. She was really the only character that really had a speaking part. The little kids really weren't mixed into it very much. That was a truly decent person. Everyone else had dramatic character flaws where she was really just, I'm going to be positive, I'm going to do whatever I can, I'm not going to get married into a horrible situation too. She had a love interest that was good until other things screwed it up. And yeah, I really enjoyed her despite the movie. And on the categories. The production value on this one wasn't great. That's understandable. And they had some great, lovely scenes, but for the most part they were showing rundown parts of the city, which is never great for the eye and enjoyability. Yeah, some of the ladies were lovely, but that wasn't really part of the movie. But they do a good job showing who's a badass and who's not and whatever. And the practicals to get her face like that, oh my god, someone deserves a friggin' award. I didn't really count this against the movie, but being a citizen of the United States of America, none of the tattoos on the faces or anything, I recognize them as being tribal, but I had no reference to what any of that was. And the only one that really bothered me aesthetically even was the girl who, she was actually pretty cute until like she had like this tattoo like on her chin, and I just kept laughing. The rest of them actually looked pretty cool, and aesthetically they got their point across and looked badass. Aesthetics gets a 60. Character development. This movie plays with the concept of what it is to be a good person and what people are so well. It's unbelievable that they have that representation, even just visually. So the guy comes home, he puts food on the table, and he tries to sleep with his wife, which kind of turns her into a whore, but maybe that's just how the world is, and you don't like that word. But as soon as she realizes that the funding's been cut off, she's like, well, close it down for business. So you get to see a little bit of what at least our directors and writers think that the world is based on. What this world is based on, necessarily. So it sets up a running thing for the movie to even develop humanity as such. And then as we quickly get into like some much poorer aspects of the human perspective, more importantly, we do it a hell of a lot better than Blue Valentine. Character development gets a 90. Storyline. Now, this is a very powerful story, but the way it's written and the way it's delivered, I just can't get on board with it. It's not engaging, and it's depressing more than anything else. Other than the Maui aspect to it, I can probably go up and down my neighborhood and find these people and just watch them. And it's not a bad story by any means. It just didn't really grab me. It is always interesting to see that even on the other side of the world, that we still have the same problems and the same stories in circulation based on those problems. I don't think really like that somebody saw Blue Valentine and was like, I'm going to go to New Zealand and make this movie. They had those issues there. They had a story that they wanted to tell, and they told it. And there is respect for that. Storyline gets a 70. Compulsion. I gotta admit, I got bored kind of quick, because I didn't see where it was going. There's some psychology aspects to look at, which was neat. But as soon as we got into like raging and domestic violence, yeah, immediately I was kind of like, well, is there going to be a point to this? And I didn't really see one at the beginning, and I didn't really get one afterwards. They did an excellent job of portraying these people as horrible, but, and I am a yeller at the TV from time to time, when I start yelling negatively at the TV for too long, it just bothers the piss out of me, and I can't keep it up. Compulsion gets a 40. Now, if you total all that up together, you get an average of 65. For my review, I've got to say, while this is very reminiscent of a New Zealand Blue Valentine, I think there are infinite things that make it better than Blue Valentine, but ultimately you're still coming down to gang violence, domestic violence, statutory rape, and just all these things that make humanity awful and throwing it in your face at once, and it doesn't make for a very palatable movie. Though it is strong and powerful, and I recommend that everyone watch this at least once. I can't say that I'm going to go back and ever watch this again, but I'm glad I got to see it, honestly. And I'm certainly not going to harbor any hate towards it. It was really interesting to see the New Zealand Maui aspect of it, but unless you're in it for that, I can't see you getting a whole lot out of it on a repeated watch. Once again, this was a review for We Are Movie Club. Click here to see Kiwi's review of Once We Were Warriors. This was her pick. And next week we're going to be doing Ghostbusters with Mr. Baxorn here. Go ahead and search the hashtag We Are Movie Club to look and see for all the other people doing We Are Movie Club reviews, and be part of the community by filming your own review, including that hashtag. That's it for me. I'm Camerai. If you don't like me, bite me. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.